the kidnapping of 3 young girls from Western region stalled as they admit they have tried everything legally possible without success to get the prime suspect to help find the girls, with time now running out to find the girls alive.
That is the wrong perception about whatever we are doing. I don't know what they want us to do, apart from doing going by the procedural processes and doing what is right.
We tell you why one parent of a kidnapped girl now believes his daughter has been murdered after 5 months in captivity.
When they called me, in fact, I couldn't believe that my daughter is alive. How can the dress be found and then the person is not there?
We are live in Takrady tonight, where the community is on edge, demanding action from authorities.
This is Top Story with Evans Mensah.
And Top Story is always brought to you by Bond Savings and Loans. Your success, our passion. Gasem, the nation builder. Vodafone, the future is exciting, ready. And Nationwide Medical Health Insurance, your healthcare family.
We plead with everyone to help us trace my daughter. It's been very difficult for my family.
The sound of despair on the day the police confirmed they have no new leads in finding 3 young Ghanaian girls. The first kidnapped 5 months ago from the community in the Western Regional Capital, Takrady. The latest update come after strong criticism of the police's seeming lack of interest, deploying every resource at their disposal to find the girls. Now, listen to this father of 15-year-old Priscilla Matibia Akranche, a first-year student of the Secondary College, who was kidnapped on the 21st of December last year. Alexander Akranche says he now believes his daughter has been murdered.
The court has taken that angle, that they are first dealing with the cell break first before they come to the substantial issue, which is kidnap case.
You saw your daughter's dress and scarf in court the other day. How was the feeling?
It was very bad. Even they called me Sunday that they have found my daughter's dress around where the kidnapper was, where he was arrested. The police came to search through the area to see if they can find the ladies there. So on their search, they called one of my sons, and when my son went there, they showed him the dress, and he confirmed that it was my daughter's dress. So when they called me, in fact, I couldn't believe still my daughter is alive. Because how can the dress be found and then the person is not there?
Well, yesterday, uncle of one of the victims, Aidan Texing, accused the police of not doing enough to find the girls. We'll be hearing from Aidan Texing shortly. We'll also be going live to Takrady. My colleague, Kojo Yangsing, is there for us tonight because we're taking this absolutely seriously, deploying every resource ourselves to try and bring enough attention onto this matter. We'll be posting the pictures of the missing girls on both the My Joy Online website, also on television, and so that you can help. If you find them anywhere, alert the police. We must do this together, and that's what we're doing tonight. Let's listen to one of the parents, Aidan Texing, talking about the police's lack of aggression in helping find his daughter.
I would never understand with this nation that a foreigner will come and do whatever he or whatever like. Now, my niece was kidnapped. Now the person was arrested. There are about 2 days or 3 days we heard the person has escaped from the prison or the cell, which is uncalled for. Now we managed doing a demonstration against the police. Just a night that we managed to do the demonstration, they called that they found the guy again. So this thing I don't understand. It is a hard time that the police and the CIDs have to wake up. We cannot sit on this issue. It's very, very serious. It's a month and 2 weeks. And what do they want again? The culprit is at hand. So what do we do now? You have to torture the person to talk. He's not talking. And we all know he have admitted he have the guys or the girls with them. So where are they? I heard over that they jail him with the escaping. That's not escaping matter. We want the kid. We want the children. It is not the prison we want. Please, the police have to rise up. This Ghana situation here is becoming uncalled for. So the police have to rise up and do the work as they have to do, rather than doing different things unnecessarily. This guy cannot do this thing in his country, that Nigeria. He can't do it. You got to torture the guy to say the truth. Where are they? We need the kid. We don't need anything. You understand? It's not about relax. What relax are they talking about? We've not get anything from them. Where are the kids? Period. These are the kids. We need the kid. Not this relaxing matter. We need the kid. Period.
Well, Madam Ahing's 18-year-old daughter, Ruth Texing, was kidnapped at Boot Junction in Takrady on 4th December last year. She could not hold back her tears as she pleaded with government to intervene.
But when you're 18 years, last year you were Fiji. No certain if you know other page maybe. Nimpanol management or a fair friend.
My daughter is 18 years old. She completed Fiji Senior High School just last year. She was worried about staying home without a job. She told me a friend was helping her get one. On 4th December, she left home to meet that friend. 2 hours after she left home, she called my line and demanded 5,000 cedis. I got worried and alarmed. I asked her where she was, but she couldn't give me any information about her location. Her line went off afterwards.
At that time, you know, that's all I know. I didn't say me. I didn't know.
He demanded 10,000 cedis. We bargained and pleaded with him. He later agreed to take 8,000 cedis. With the help of my pastor and a few friends around, we managed to raise some money. We sent him 1,200 cedis. Even with that money, we didn't see or hear from my daughter. We've never heard from her till date. We traced his line and got him arrested, but we later heard he had escaped from jail.
So we saw that. So I mean, so we would not say, I mean, so no for me, my I did. This is one man to said,
We plead with everyone to help us trace my daughter. It's been very difficult for my family. I plead with government and everyone to help me locate my daughter.
One more, maybe I'm a Nigerian, New York, so no for me, my I did. Miss Lagarab and I, Miss Sano.
Well, it had been weeks without any meaningful progress by the police to find the girls. They first arrested the Nigerian Samuel Wilson Otodeg after they established that he had been making calls to facilitate the kidnapping. The police had, however, failed to get him to help find the girls as he kept feeding the police with false information. It had almost become the forgotten story until recent pressure on the police and government. Listen to law lecturer Professor Harriet Mensah-Bonsu.
I believe that a few mistakes have been made because now kidnapping is by professionals. So if the handling of it is amateurish, then you won't get very far. I believe that more senior, more experienced police investigators should get involved. I am surprised that you have tried to reach the Western Regional Command without success. I would urge them, if they are near a phone, to contact JoyFM, because this is the kind of silence that produces further insecurity.
Yeah.
Everybody is vulnerable. And so if people feel insecure, you should be on air assuring everybody that the matter is well in hand. Sometimes we don't put enough value on our females, because if we put value on our females, then the disappearance of one would have caused consternation. But if the disappearance of one doesn't cause consternation, then it goes on. Almost 2 decades ago, we had the phenomenon of women being found killed. We never really got satisfactory answers, and we moved on as a nation. Perhaps this should reawaken us to the fact that a woman is also valuable. And we should put everything into finding that one woman who cannot be found. I can sense from the situation being described a lack of training of the police. So they are treating it like just any pickpocket crime kind of thing. We have to understand that these people are professionals. And so we need to up our game, or else we are never going to solve these problems.
Well, the police have begun to speak now. We'll hear from them shortly. But lawyer and vice president of policy think tank Imani Ghana, Kofi Bentel, agrees with what you just heard. He criticized the police's lackadaisical approach to finding the girls.
Police have a totally nonchalant approach to this whole thing. And I imagine, what if this was my daughter? What if this was my sister? My first problem is that the police seem to care too little about ordinary people. Look at the casual nature with which they handle this thing. These people have to be going to the police station over and over again when the person is on phone making communications with them. Then you arrest the gentleman, you are so lackadaisical, you let him escape, and then they have to come back to you before you go and grab him again, and then you are so relaxed about it. And the girls are out there. There are 3 girls that we know of. The question is, what are our police doing? And this is not one of those things where you need fantastic resources. You just need to be diligent. This is somebody's sister, somebody's daughter. The first and most important problem is that if our society thinks that our police don't care anything about ordinary people, we will degenerate. And these are lives at stake. So I worry about why the Western Region Police Commander is still at post. I worry about why all those people in charge are still there. I worry about why this has gone on for weeks and nobody is saying anything about it.
Well, today, the pressure appears to be paying off as both government and the police are now providing updates on investigations. However, there appears to be contradictions in the information provided by the Gender Minister and the Police Command in the Western Region. The Gender Minister, Cynthia Morrison, told Joy News today that police are closing in on the kidnappers.
This is a very sensitive thing, and because the girls have not been found, I don't want us to read a lot of meaning into it. We are closing up on the kidnappers. I don't know how fast it is, but as a parent, imagine that your daughter is out there and you don't know what is happening to her. It's heartbreaking. As a gender ministry, we have intelligence on the ground that the police are working on it. We are yet to go to Takoradi ourselves. I asked them to send the father's number. I'm going to talk to them. I've asked 2 of my staff to go to Takoradi, find out the parents. And then when I get back to Accra, I'm also going to go there. And if the kidnappers want to ransom or something, find a way of identifying them. All we need is a girl. We don't want to go into details what we are trying to do on air because the children are still not with us. Then when the children get to us, but all I can say is that we should be careful. We should let our young ladies, even our sons, the young boys, be careful where they go to, and then they should go in a company. Now the 7 girls, we don't know whether they were kidnapped together or they were kidnapped separately until we find them and they tell us the story, how they were kidnapped. We can't talk much about it because as of now, we can't tell how it happened. I'm optimistic that we will find them. I pray that wherever they are, the Lord himself will touch the hearts of these kidnappers. But we should not entertain this. And whether they are Nigerians or Ghanaians, I'm sure when the girls are found, we will know the details, where they were kept and all that, so that we can start advising our young people. Police are working at it. That is the report I have, that they are working seriously at it. Maybe closing up on whoever kidnapped the girls.
So from the briefing you're getting from the police, they are very close to getting the girls back to their parents. Is that what it is?
Yes, because they are working, in collaboration with other people. And like I said, I don't want to go into details on air, but that is what they tell me, that they are working at it. And then I will get my report by the close of tomorrow.
Well, an hour ago, we heard from the Western Regional Police Commander, DCOP Redeemer Vincent Dejo. He tells an entirely different story. He paints a picture of a stalled investigation. He, in fact, questions what else the critics want the police to do after failing to get the prime suspect to help them find the girls. He spoke to my colleague, Gifty Ando-Apia, on the pause.
We have tried all means to talk to him. He only, in the initial stage, he took us to Kaswa. We went and combed the whole of Kaswa. He could not be able to lead us to where the victims are. What?
How long have you had him in custody?
Today is taken almost 17 days.
You've had him in custody for 17 days.
Yeah.
And he keeps leading you to the wrong places.
Yeah, he's not ready even to talk. He will tell you he doesn't know where the victims are.
So, on what basis are you holding him?
No, on the phone that he made to the phones, the victim phone.
He has the phones of the victims?
No, the call that he made to the victims.
Okay. And he is admitted to making those calls?
In one of the instances, there was a communication between them before the kidnapping took place. In all the three cases that we have come to encounter.
Okay.
So we are holding him because if you don't know the people, immediately you have you were brought into custody. Communication to those lines also ceased, and those who also went off.
It's been 17 days of you holding on to this gentleman, and he's leading you to the places that you're not finding what you're looking for. A lot of people have said that the police has not shown any serious level of competence, any serious level of urgency in finding these people because it's taken too long. How do you respond to that?
My response to that is that is the wrong perception about whatever we are doing. Because, you know, it is not like the things are just that you go and you must use tactics. You must be hold the person for what can you do? You cannot subject him to inhuman treatment. Because the law of human rights does not allow a lot of things to be done. So if someone is saying that police not do, I don't know what they want us to do, apart from doing going by the procedural processes and doing what is right for as professionals.
What else are you doing?
What is actually the issue at hand is that this is the vital business for getting to the bottom of the issue is concerned. And if you ask him questions as to where the people are, he will say they are with one John. You leave, and the John is staying in Kaswa. You leave us to go to where the John is. You will lead us to Kaswa. We will only go and roam the whole of Kaswa. You will show our houses, we will break into those houses, we will not see anybody. So we will continue playing our role as professionals. And what I want to assure everybody is that it is not going to be a one-day thing whereby you will force somebody to say something, at the end of the day we'll be saying that police our subjected this structure, that's why I've been able to say, should not have been able to say. So we wanted to do things in such a way that the international community will also appreciate whatever we are doing.
Two quotes from the police commander there that stand out. He says, if the person is not talking, what can you do? He also says, I don't even know what they want us to do. We'll speak to a security expert about these pronouncements. What else can the police do? The man in the custody is not talking. He broke jail. They caught him in 4 days. He's back in cells. He's leading them to, false locations, and he's simply not talking. He says, what do you want us to do? We'll get a perspective of security expert on that. But we can go live now to Takrady, where my colleague Kojo Yangsing is standing by. He's visiting, in fact, he's in the home of one of the victims and has some latest information to share. Kojo, what more do we know?
Well, Evans, I'm in the home of Ruth Quayson. Ruth has become sort of the poster girl for this very unfortunate kidnapping saga. She lives in a suburb of Takrady called Diabini. And as we understand, she was taken on the 4th of December. I've met the very last person to see Ruth before she disappeared, and that is a neighbor who jumped into a taxi with her when Ruth said she was heading to the MTN office in pursuit of a job. Ruth is described by her family members as a lady who doesn't leave home very often and so doesn't really know Takrady that well. They suspect there are many suburbs of Takrady she's never been to. And so in the taxi with her neighbor, Ruth talked about how she was meeting up with a friend in order to find their way to the MTN office. She got down at a very popular junction on the main road, not far from her home here in Diabini. And that was the very last time Ruth was seen. But I've been speaking to her family members who are
very confused by what they've heard the police say in court since this matter resumed the hearings in the Takoradi court. Their concern is that what they are hearing from the police seriously contradicts what the police has told them during the carrying out of this investigation. So, for example, they mentioned a police officer who they called on the day they heard that the suspect had escaped from custody. This police officer was apparently not in Takoradi at the time. He assured them that he was returning from Cape Coast and would look into the matter when he got here. But they heard in court that this police officer was here and visited the police station at least twice on the day that this suspect disappeared. This is one of many contradictory statements that leave the family baffled as to whether the police are actually doing everything they can to bring their daughter home. Now, I'm looking around me, a semicircle of family members sitting in chairs with despair all over their faces. They're on the verge of giving up because the people they trust to bring their daughter home appear to be incapable or unwilling to do so. They are just as baffled as they are distraught. And I'm about to do an interview with them to learn a bit more. But so far, what I can tell you is that the very last person to see Ruth confirms that she was going to meet up with a friend to go looking for work at MTN. She got down at a junction near home and was never seen again, ever.
I'm grateful, Kojo. Kojo will be speaking to families, trying to find out what else we can learn about this as we begin to understand what happens, but also assist with using our mediums to put out as much of the images as we have as possible. So if you find these girls anywhere, you can call the police and help assist rescue these girls. Thankfully, we've just been joined on the telephone line right now by DCOP Redeemer Vincent Dejo. He is the Western Regional Police Commander. DCOP Dejo, thank you for your time. You're on Top Story.
Thank you, and good evening to your cherished listeners.
My first question to you is, I mean, what has the police done with the pictures and images of these missing girls?
They have procedures so far as all some of these issues when they come on board. We are to, first of all, be in the position at least to see how best these pictures can be. Initially, it is not good just to put out the pictures unless, of course, you chance to go into investigation for some time. And you needed, you have established some evidence to show that at least you cannot get this victims. Then before you can even have them gazetted and you publish. So that is the first thing you have to do.
Yes. So my fundamental question. I mean, just to cut a long story short, the people are missing, and from the interview granted earlier today, I think this was brought to your attention. I think in August, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes, it was in August.
In August, that's 5 months ago. I'm asking, have you circulated? I mean, the girls are missing. All you want now is to find them. You need help to find them, but I haven't seen a picture of these girls circulating anywhere that if I find the girl hanging in my neighborhood, I will notice who she is. Why haven't we done that 5 months on?
As I explained to you earlier, if you don't, this is a kidnap case we are investigating. It is important to have something to put your hands on before you circulate. If the stigma associated with some of these things, so you must consider it. The trauma the girls are going through. So it is not just good to put the pictures out like that.
Mr. Dejo, you are looking for missing girls. It's been 5 months. Everywhere in the world, when people are missing, the best allies you have in tracking and locating them is the public. Somebody might find somebody sitting in the car and might look at the person because I've seen a picture that the police is circulating. Will call you and say, I have a tip for you. You're saying to me that 5 months on, you haven't found enough evidence to circulate the pictures as widely as possible?
What do I want you to realize that this is a kidnap case? And added to that, the parents beforehand were paying money to these kidnappers before informing us. So, in fact, we have to take time and fit to read that the appropriate things are done before some of these things are done. As I'm talking to you too, if you
what do you need, Mr. Dejo, to simply circulate the pictures across the country?
Sometimes we have been done, even in, the pictures were even in Daily Guide.
The pictures were in Daily Guide. You put it there, or Daily Guide decided to do themselves?
Well, they came to us, we gave it to them for the story.
So Daily Guide came to you, not the other way around, not the police taking the initiative and saying, every media organization in Ghana, these are the pictures I want.
Initiative and invited them, and we gave the story to. But it was the divisional commander who even gave the story out.
Mr. Dejo, hold the line for me, sir. Let me bring in one of your former colleagues. In fact, he is a security analyst, works with the Security Warehouse Limited. Adam Bona is on the telephone line with him. Mr. Bona, I hope you just listened to the police commander there. So 5 months on, he just confirmed to us that they haven't taken any deliberate step to circulate these pictures as widely as possible because there are police procedures to follow. 5 months on. What's your reaction to that?
Yes, thank you very much, and good evening to your listeners. Good evening, Western Regional Commander. I mean, I'm sad to hear from the commander saying 5 months the pictures have not been circulated. As we speak, Evans, I haven't seen a single picture of any of these girls, either through conventional media or, social media, or, I haven't seen it anywhere. And so if Mr. Dejo is saying that because the families were paying money and so they needed to take their time, 5 months on, this guy broke jail, you rearrested him, and so why haven't we seen the photos? And so for me, I think that that is not a very good excuse. I want to believe that as we speak, the police headquarters, I think I've picked the information, they've taken over the investigations. I do believe that this issue is bigger than Mr. Dejo. I must admit, from where he stands, if we leave this issue with him, we might not find our girls. I was expecting Mr. Dejo to actually summon every Nigerian in the Western region. Those should be the first thing he should have done. Summon every Nigerian in the Western region. How many are they? Even if they are 100,000, look for them. Summon every landlord or landlady who is rented a facility to every Nigerian in the Western region. Summon them. Look everywhere. Look under gutters. Look everywhere. You have the men. What are they doing? If you need help, you would have to let the headquarters know you need help. And so for me, I think Mr. Dejo would have to come again, because then he hasn't handled the issue as we speak. I want to believe that the Nigerian embassy is listening. The Nigerian community, when they ask them they shouldn't trade, they are listening, because then this issue has a potential of reprisal or xenophobic, attack on, nationals coming from that country. Because you can feel the emotions. People are angry. People are not happy. And this is, how this thing starts. You look at it and you think that, well, we can't do anything about it. And the next thing you see is that there is a spark. And when that spark starts, it will be very difficult to control it. The girls are missing 5 months. Anybody who knows about kidnapping, anything after 72 hours, if you don't make any good inroads, you have probably 80% chance of not getting them back.
Yeah, Mr. Bona, just a second. DCOP Dejo, has the headquarters taking over the case? DCOP Dejo, can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you.
Yes, I'm just clarifying with you. Has the Greater Accra Police, the headquarters of the National Police, have they taken over the case?
The case is still being investigated at second.
Police is there. Let me ask you, sir. At this moment, our only interest is helping you. When I say our, public's only interest is helping you find the girls. When are we going to get the police official mark shots of these girls? We will use our medium, and everybody else listening will circulate it on social media, etc., so we can help you find the girls. When can we get these pictures that you back?
You get them this evening.
Okay. 5 months on, We'll get them this evening. However,
No, what I want you to realize, I have tried to explain myself, but it looks like the man you call is not very satisfied with what we have done.
No, I mean, at least we are making progress. We'll get them this evening. We'll work with that. I understand you're holding a press briefing tomorrow. Will this further help with the circulation of the pictures? And you've told us already that you've hit a brick wall with this guy in your custody. And the question was asked, what else is the police doing? Specifically, can you tell us what else you're doing?
I don't think that ought to come to public domain. What else we wanted to do with this issue? But we all apologize because we need to keep a lot of things to our chest, but we can be able to get to the bottom of this issue.
Are you restricting your search to Ghana or to the sub-region? Or expanding it to the sub-region?
Because we cannot restrict ourselves only to Ghana. This is Nigeria who is involved, so we don't know what happened.
You say you cannot torture him to get the information, understandably, because the law is against that. So I'm just wondering, have you reached out for help in the Western region? The Ghana Police Service is a big institution to try other means of getting this gentleman to speak, the psychologist, etc. What else have you tried?
We are still investigating. So it does good for me to put in saying all that we have done. I believe you will bear with me.
No problem. Mr. Dejo, we just heard from the families. They're distraught, they're in despair, etc. What do you tell these families who can't find your daughters? The daughters have been kidnapped. It's been 5 months for some. What do you tell them tonight? Some of them are listening to you. Speak to them directly. What do you tell them?
No, I've invited them several times. Even last week, I invited them. They refused even to come.
Because they've lost faith in your ability to help them find their daughters. I'm asking you tonight, what do you tell them listening to you tonight on radio?
They should have the confidence in the police that we get to the bottom of this issue.
I'm grateful that you joined us. Final thoughts to you, Mr. Bonar. That's where we are tonight. From all that he's told us from in the afternoon to now, he himself confessed they've hit a brick wall on this. Where do we go from here, Mr. Bonar?
Well, I think where we go from here, first of all, we then to be able to analyze, conversations through telecoms, because these people, we are told, collected ransoms through mobile money, spoke to the families. I mean, the last point of call. I mean, if anyone who knows about, cellular points or call them cell sites, knows that it is easy to these days do a pinpoint location to be able to tell where the person is speaking from. Even with, the advent of technology, those who, if they are interceptors, that could intercept voice over IP calls and be able to tell this is where the person is calling from, the person is standing here, and analyze all that data to be able to help us arrest these people. Technology is there. And so for me, I think that this is something that needs to be worked on as soon as possible. And so let's see in the next few days what the police is going to come up with. I mean, for these girls, I think we need to get the girls back. It's important. I mean, their families want them, and we don't want kidnappings in this country. Done by, no one should kidnap our daughters, our wives, and all that. I think it is something that we haven't had in this country. And so if it's coming up and it's taking 5 months, and these victims are still in captivity, and all we hear is that you see there are procedures. If we have to show their photos, I don't think there's any procedure if someone is, kidnapped your daughter or your son or your relation. All you want is that relation.
Yeah, I'm grateful, Mr. Bonar, for joining us. And many of you are outraged about this, and I've seen your comments on our social media pages. On WhatsApp, for example, one captures the mood exactly. Says, "Commander seems lost. Please get him off the phone line and call someone who knows something about this case. Shameful, to say the least. What a country we live in." We have more on this as we begin to dig into this and enlist public support to find these girls who have been missing, some for the last 5 months. Still ahead on Newsnight.
President Akufo-Addo makes another vow, this time to ensure that mining firm Anglo Gold Ashanti never shuts down under his watch.
I assure management and staff of the mine that the sequence of events that led to the closure of the mine will not reoccur.